Welcome everyone in. Hope you all are having a good day. I'll just get everything ready and organized for everything here right quick. Boom, bada bing, bada boom, baby. Posting out those links. Get those links out there, boy. Get those links out there. Boom. Welcome everyone in. Yo, this man, you're still sick, man. I hope you're starting to feel a little bit better at least. But welcome in, buddy. Welcome in as we have a little bit of a podcast. I'm not feeling too amazing today either. It was a long day, to say the least. It was a pretty bad day. It actually wasn't a bad day. It was just a long day. It wasn't a lot of fun. But we got an amazing episode ahead of us. I don't know. We don't got a whole lot to talk about, honestly, with this OilersCast. I mean, the biggest thing is the goaltending has been, a massive fucking issue lately with the Edmonton Oilers, and we're going to definitely be getting into that a lot. Had to drink some fucking water, baby. Yeah, I bet COVID has not been done with ya, I bet. But, so, welcome everyone to the 5th episode of the OilersCast. Welcome back everyone in. We have a decent amount to kind of talk about on today's docket. We're going to be talking about goaltending. I think that's definitely a big thing that I want to discuss. Bigger than, all the games. I think that summarizes most of the games that were, to talk about as well, basically, because the games that the Edmonton Oilers played, they didn't play, we actually played really good. It's just the problem is we couldn't get goaltending. It was legit our problem. We couldn't get goaltending at all during all those games. And that's the problem that was the biggest problem. Yo, Paul McDavish, welcome in, bud. Right, like, we lost against Minnesota mostly because Mike Smith just continued to let in goals. It was horrible. You're in Disneyland. Oh, awesome, bro. Welcome in, Brian. Welcome in, bud. But, yeah, Mike Smith let in 4 goals and 7 shots against Minnesota Wild, and then just continued to get pummeled in by the Tampa Bay Lightning, and we were down 3-1 before we were able to even kind of get some juice into us and start producing a little bit. It's the fact of the matter is that our goaltending has been putting us into a big hole, and you can obviously see that we need some good goaltending right now, and we're not getting it. Mike Smith has just been absolutely horrid. Mikko Koskinen has been meh. But you look at the two big guys, Koskinen, a 313 goals against average and 899 save percentage. But then you look at Smith, it's just fucking disgusting. 3.65 goals against average and an 891 save percentage is just, it's unacceptable. To be completely honest with you, it is unacceptable to be that fucking bad, man. Like, seriously, Mike Smith has been downright bad over these past few games, and I said during the offseason that basically with this move, with signing Smith back to the team, yes, there was no options to go with. The best option is to go with Smith. Don't know why you signed him to a tier contract, but the reason why you didn't sign him to a tier contract, because if he went this down bad and was this horrible, it wasn't going to be so hard to get rid of him. You weren't going to have to buy him out. And now there's a potential where we might actually have to buy out Mike Smith because of how bad of a season he has been. Like, every time we throw him in, you cannot rely on the guy. He's not looking himself. I was thinking maybe it's just the rust that he hasn't played a whole lot this year, but now he's in the same amount of games as Stuart Skinner, and Skinner put up a better record than what Mike Smith did. Skinner had a 913 save percentage with a 2.62 goals against average, and for some reason, we're not playing that guy. Why? Why are we not playing Stuart Skinner when we obviously should be? When he is one of our best goalies, without a doubt, right now, he has been the man of the hour for the Edmonton Oilers, and yet we're not playing the guy. It absolutely blows my mind that he's now stuck in the AHL where he is just producing amazing, and I just cannot believe we're not playing him over Koskinen and Smith, who obviously cannot play goalie right now and just continue to be horrible. Now, if we were going to be trading for an actual NHL ready goalie, I mean, Stuart Skinner is, I would say he is ready to go. But the thing is, we need to make a deal. We need to go out there and trade for a goalie. That is obvious. I was hearing rumors that it might be done by March 10th. That's what Frank Cervelli said on the DOF podcast there. That it's basically a punch in that we're going to be seeing a potential trade for a goalie before March 10th. So I don't know ideally what's available. Now, we were hearing scouts were in the St. Louis Blues versus the Philadelphia Flyers. Maybe they're watching Martin Jones potentially, which it wouldn't be an upgrade. And that's the problem. Like, the only goalie that I would see as an upgrade, we talked about this on a recent podcast, I think one of the first two episodes, and then also when Perlo jumped on with us, we talked about it even more, that there's not a whole lot of options unless you trade for Ville Husso, who you might as well just call up Stuart Skinner. And you also got Marc-Andre Fleury, but is Fleury going to want to waive his no movement? From rumors, I've heard that he really doesn't want to, or I guess a no trade clause, right? So there might be, there's rumors that he doesn't want to waive that he doesn't want to come to Edmonton, and that might be a possibility, which would absolutely suck. There's really no other options that you go with. You continue riding with Smith and Koskinen, but Smith hasn't been reliable. That is the biggest problem. Mike Smith has not been a reliable goalie for us. He has not been that guy. He has just been horrible. To put it outright, he has been horrible. We deserve to win those two games that we did play. Minnesota, we deserve to beat. We lost because of Mike Smith. We deserve to beat the Tampa Bay Lightning, but we lost because of Smith. And that seems to be the biggest issue right now, is that we're not getting the goaltending that we need to be getting right now. And it's disappointing. It really is disappointing to say that, we're not getting the goaltending that we need, because we could be a pretty deadly team right now. Woodcroft has put us into a system which works out really well, which I guess we haven't gotten to talk about because I had to skip last week for the podcast because I was out with my family and I wasn't able to record the podcast last week either. So we're going to be getting into a little bit of Woodcroft as well. But the goaltending needs to change. That is a big thing for us that we need to change. We need to make a root move, something. We need to acquire a goalie, and it has to actually be a good goalie. It can't just be fucking Martin Jones or Gorgiev. Like, those guys are not going to be fixes for this team. We have said that many times before. We actually need a fix, whether it just be from the deadline, until the playoffs, and we figure out what we need to do during free agency. But we need to actually find a guy and move away from Mike Smith, because obviously he can't be a goaltender. Right now I see Koskinen as a better goaltender than Mike Smith right now, and that's pretty fucking hard. Pretty dumb to say, or not dumb to say, but pretty horrible. I like the Seattle Kraken. I think the Seattle Kraken are good. They're just going with a whole complete rebuild sort of option there, Brian. I don't think I mind it, but Francis had a weird expansion draft. He could have got a lot more assets than what he did. And I mean, Aaron Dell, yeah, but Aaron Dell's not going to fix it. And Aaron Dell's like Mike Smith 2.0. He's angry, man, and he didn't put up very good stats. Like, he's just not a guy that I would really want in Buffalo or in Edmonton, to be completely honest. And he wouldn't fix, he only had one good year way back when he played his first year in the NHL with a 931, and that was like basically it. He went down from there. So I really don't want Aaron Dell. He wouldn't be able to handle our bad defense that we already got. And I know people were kind of also talking about the D. Maybe they need to blame the fact on, blame it on the D a little bit. But the thing is, Smith did not look very good down there. Yes, there was a bad few turnovers. Definitely the defense needs to be improved as well. There's no doubt about that. But the fact of the matter is, Smith needs to make some saves for us. And obviously, he wasn't able to make some of those saves that, he lit in the back of the net. So we really need to see Smith step up, and we haven't seen that so far. So let's move on to the next thing. But hey, now. Welcome in, bud. Smith just needs to rip some lines before the games. Yeah, apparently he does need to rip some lines, but he was ripping into the fucking team the other day as well, which I'm not a big fan of. Completely honest with you. Mike Smith has been ripping into the young guys a little bit, but for me, watching what Smith is doing out there when he obviously can't save a fucking puck worth of your life and you're blaming things on D, you need to check yourself. I said that during the OGR. Let Woodcroft do that. Let Woodcroft talk with the guys. Let the boys talk with those guys. Smith, do your fucking job and save a puck, because obviously you need to focus on that more and improve your game, because you're not being that guy right now, right? You were that guy last year. You talked about how you were going to fly right back in, and you didn't. You looked like ass. So hopefully you could turn yourself around and, become the big guy that we definitely need you to be here over this next little stretch. But I very much on the low end. I said during the offseason that this was a bad deal getting Smith back onto the team. It could have worked out. It was a 50-50, and obviously it didn't. And of course it didn't, right? Fuck, who knew that relying on a fucking old goalie wasn't gonna fucking end up well? Who knew? Moving forward, though, we'll talk about Woodcroft. We'll get into him next. We've had him now for over 2 weeks now. Yeah, over 2 weeks now. We've had him for about, what is it? 2, 4, 6, 7 games. Yeah, we've had him for 7 games now. And honestly, Woodcroft has been amazing. Woodcroft has done wonders for this team. He's done a lot of good things, a lot of positive things for this team. He's just made this team actually look like a competent NHL team and not Dave Tippett's system where, hey guys, just go out there, fucking play hockey, have fun. Like with Woodcroft, it seems like they're having a lot more fun, of course, but we're actually in a system that actually works, plays good defensively. The past few games, yes, we haven't been playing very well defensively, but that good stretch from New York to Winnipeg, we were actually playing very well defensively. And even in the games that we did lose, we were actually still outplaying teams. Like, we were outplaying Tampa Bay so much in that game. We just, of course, goaltending ended up being the stab in the back. Like, legit, if we actually got 2 saves from Smith, it would have been a W for us. It would have been 3-2 victory for the Edmonton Oilers if we got some saves from Mike Smith. Woodcroft was a big reason why we were close in that game. Well, also the people that were playing, but Woodcroft's system that he has put into this game so far has just been amazing. And I've been really loving the 2-1-2 that he formats for the kind of like the defensive kind of when we're on the forecheck. I really like it, especially when we're in our own zone, and we've been stopping a lot of the rush attacks. That's been a big thing that I've been really liking as well, that we sucked at defending the rush, and now we've been actually able to defend the rush a bit better, and we're not allowing so many goals through that rush, which is really, really nice, and I think that's a big positive for the team to take into account for the Edmonton Oilers. So I've been really a big fan of that, and a big fan of the way that Jay Woodcroft has been so far coaching this team, because he has just been doing wonders with this team thus far, and it is a big reason why we're playing so well. McDavid has been playing really well for the Edmonton Oilers as well. He's had, in the 7 games played with Woodcroft, he's had 12 points so far. Draisaitl's had 9 and 7, both pluses. They've been amazing. They've been producing, and it's not even just those guys that have been playing really good. You have Nuge, who's been playing really well. Fogle hasn't been looking bad. Derek Ryan's starting to produce a little bit for us. Evander Kane hasn't been looking too bad in our system. Zach Hyman's been playing off the wall 5-on-5 wise. I mean, he's just been producing mad good over these past few games. 2 points against Tampa, 2 points against Mini, a point against Winnipeg, 2 points against Anaheim, a point against LA. Like, his 5-on-5 production, I gotta say, for Zach Hyman has been going up. Nurse and Bouchard have been looking good. I mean, just about everyone has been looking really, really well. And I've been a really big fan of the way that Jay Woodcroft has been coaching this team. Yo, Weed and Wrestling, welcome in, my man. Andre, how's it going, bro? And yeah, and welcome in, Leafs fan, as well. I'm doing good. A little tired, so we're going to be definitely cutting the podcast a little bit short today. We're just going to be talking about a few things. We'll be live for another 15 minutes, and I'm going to be hopping off because of the fact I am a little tired. And there's not a whole lot to talk about. There's basically, we just got to talk about, which we already did, talked about the goaltending situation and how horrible that's been for us and how we just legit cannot catch a break right now with the goaltending that we've been dealing with. And then Woodcroft, who's just been absolutely amazing. And then we'll kind of talk about the upcoming game that's about to happen. But also, I guess, other news for the Edmonton Oilers as well. Josh Archibald is about to return back to the NHL. Now I think he has to quarantine or I think he has to do some things. Oh yeah, he's in Edmonton right now, quarantine after a drive up from Nebraska. Okay, so yeah, so he's testing right now. He's in quarantine, and so also the big thing with Archibald, I think, from what I heard, is that he does not have the vaccine just yet, so he will be stuck to just playing home games for the Edmonton Oilers, which honestly becomes useless from what I heard from Jim Matheson. He is a trade piece, but he's not really a trade piece, to be completely honest with you. Josh Archibald is ass. To put it completely out there, he's a guy that skates and hits a lot, and that's all he really does. He is your chip and grind type of player. He's not really worth a whole lot for the Edmonton Oilers. He's gonna maybe scoop you up a 6th-round pick, and that's all he's really gonna scoop you up. Like, he's not gonna be worth anything if they're really thinking he's a bargaining chip, because he's really not. He's not gonna be really worth anything for the Edmonton Oilers. So for this, like, it's not too big of a deal. It's not even really a big piece of news because I wasn't a big fan of Josh Archibald in the first place. He's not going to really fit anywhere in the lineup. Second of all, we have better players than him. I mean, he could totally take Devin Shore's spot, but both of them are complete ass in that case. Anyways, at least Archibald could finish a check, not like Shore where he's like, every time he goes into a hit. Fuck, Josh wasn't that good of a player, man. He just hits, and that's all he really does. He wasn't very much of a useful player for us. He didn't do terrible on the PK, but we got better guys than what Josh Archibald is. You know, Josh Archibald is a guy that's going to go out there, get you 6-7 minutes, goes out and bangs some bodies, but he's not really that good of a player, and he's not going to get a whole lot for us, to be completely honest with you. And also from the chat, do you think it would be worth trading our first rounder and a prospect for a real good goalie? Oh, without a doubt. If we could actually get a starting goalie that we could actually play for a few years, I think without a doubt, that would be massive. Without a doubt. Moving forward, put the pickle on the record, tune the turntables on a mic on Peyton. Hell yeah, baby. Also a deal or no deal right quick in the chat as well. To Edmonton, Elio Samsonov, 2024, 4th. Dmitry Orlov to Washington, 2022, first year tier pick. So like a prospect. So it'd be like a kind of like a Broberg sort of deal. See, Samsonov is not really going to fix our problems. Like, he's a young goalie who's been kind of inconsistent and hasn't been able to find himself. I think that's a big thing. He's a 904 save percentage, and yeah, I don't think I would really be into Samsonov, to be completely honest with you. It's going to be hard to find a goalie, no matter which way you look at it. It's going to be very difficult for us to find a goalie, no matter which way you look at it, and it's going to be difficult no matter, what way you look at it. It's going to be tough to find a goalie. It's going to be fucking difficult. So man, I am exhausted today. We're definitely going to be cutting the podcast short. Sorry, guys, about that. I've been working a lot and also been trying to set up a new place for my apartment. So I'm probably going to end it here. I'm pretty fucking tired, and my brain is like scrambled eggs right now. So I'm going to go rest. sorry guys for the short podcast. I should be back and going and good next week. It's just I've been trying to organize some stuff for me trying to get into a new place and everything like that. I'm living with some family right now, so I'm not getting kicked out. I just want to get my own place. So I've been trying to do that. But Oilers play tomorrow against the Florida Panthers, which I will not be live tomorrow. I got to work a really long shift, so I won't be live at all tomorrow. But there will be an OGR that goes out that night as well. I'll probably go live for an OGR tomorrow just because I want to get it done and over with once I get back home. So I'll probably do like a live OGR tomorrow night, and then I will be live for the Carolina Hurricanes versus the Edmonton Oilers game. So make sure to tune into that as well. I will be live for that. So it should be a lot of fun. It's going to be an early morning game, so make sure you wake up, nice and early. Come and join the stream. It should be a lot of fun. But yeah, hope and prayer that we actually find a good goaltender. And I'm going to go get some sleep, go get some Z's and get some food in me and relax for the rest of the night. So I will see you guys all later. And we'll have a nice long Oilers cast next week. I'll probably have a guest join us next week. So it'll definitely be a good episode to watch. So make sure to tune into next week. And also, there wasn't a whole lot to talk about. There was legit Archibald, Jay Woodcroft talk. And then, our horrible goaltending scene that we right now got. So I'm going to peace out here, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. And I'll